So when I was a kid, I went to the woods with some friends, and they'd planned this thing to basically ditch me in the woods, and then so they did. They took me like pretty deep in the woods and then ditched me, and then went back and told my mom that I fell into a river and drowned.
What the fuck, dude?
So
They actually
mean.
told her?
Yeah, no, and we were in the mountains of like North Carolina, so they ditched me in the woods and told my mom that I fell into a
That
river.
is the meanest
And
thing I've
yeah,
ever
no,
heard.
Right.
seriously. And my mom started like, she's like, oh, what? Ah! So my mom and like my dad get into this van and they like head down the mountain in tears, like freaking out. Like my mom is like hyperventilating, and like they head down the mountain to like the nearest sheriff's station was like, oh, it was like 40 minutes away. And then I walked back out of the woods, and like no one's at the house except my sister, and she's like
You
in
were
tears.
alone in the woods?
Yeah, I was by they dished me in the woods. I was like 10.
You could have been like eaten by a bear.
I know.
What the fuck?
And I get back, and my sister's like, ah, there you are. And she came up and like gave me a big hug and stuff, and she called my mom. She's like, he's here. And my mom rushed back, and the shittiest part was those kids didn't even get punished by their parents, and I got in trouble.
Why would you get in trouble?
Because my mom's like, you didn't tell me you were going off into the woods. But then those kids, like, the parents were like, boys will be boys. I'm like, fuck you. And I got grounded for that.
That's like the kind of thing where you're like, oh, he's dead. And the second you see their eye widen, you go, no, I'm kidding. That's supposed to be the end of it. And that's still really mean.
It's not a funny joke.
It's you don't let them drive off into the woods. Like,
I know. You're supposed to be like, no, I was kidding.
They're in panic mode. They can swerve off the road and kill themselves.
I know. And apparently, like, my mom on the, like, while they were like, before they went around, so they didn't say I drowned, but they said I got swept into the river. So they're like going around to the people nearby before they got into the car, like looking for like, has anyone seen my son? And they ran into this really mean guy who was like, fuck your son or something.
the
That's what my
fuck?
mom told me. So it's
Wait, he told him that like he fucked their son.
no. He said he
Fucked your son. I threw him in the river. You start running at your mom with a knife.
Fucked your son.
Dude, your mom would be like, skirt, skirt, and she'd drive away.
No, but like they didn't know I had drowned. They thought I had just like gone into the woods and been swept into the river. So they went to the houses nearby and like, did you see my son climb out of the river? And he was like, I don't give a shit about your son or something, some shit like that.
What a fucking asshole.
I know. She just said he was really mean. He didn't literally say like fuck your son, but he said something really mean, and it scared my mom. And then that sent her into panic mode, and they went down the mountain.
Little did they know he was giving them advice.
Oh, I fucked your son and threw him in the river. I was like 10 at the time. That's fucked up.
How old were you?
I was 10.
Whoa, dude. Well, at least you survived.
Dude, those two kids I knew, like, they were fucking insane.
What were their names? Call them out.
Carson and Marshall.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, Carson. fuck you,
fucking
Marshall.
ugly cross-eyed dipshit.
They've been to jail like 10 times or
Really?
something. Like, one of them has. One of them was homeless now, I
Now he's
think.
gonna come out to murder you. He has a record. He doesn't care.
Well, he got what was coming.
Shit.
What an asshole.
This is payback from. I got fucking grounded while I was on vacation. So it's
Not your
like.
fault. Your
I
parents
know.
are assholes.
My mom was so mad. She was like, you never leave my sight again.
Wow.
I got in trouble. It's for fucking like they're like, let's go in the woods, and they
I always
planned
feel like
it out.
the nice thing to do would be like give you a big fucking cake. It's like, well, when I find my son, if he's alive, I'm gonna give him the biggest present ever. That's what I'd do, and I'd give you a cake.
Yeah.
I'd draw your face in it.
What type of cake, Chris?
I don't know, pepperoni.
What?
What would you draw on it?
Pepperoni.
Okay.
I never saw the Simpsons Family Guy crossover.
I didn't either. I don't think I wanted to.
Yeah,
It would
me
feel
neither.
too weird. It'd feel like having sex with a family member.
It'd feel like someone was pulling down the pants of a well-respected individual and just shaming them in front of the
And
entire
you're like, oh,
world.
I'm about to see their penis, and if it's small, I will have no respect for them anymore.
Yeah, I like them just standing up to doing their own thing. I don't know what this person is doing, pulling down their pants and shaming them in front of me.
Sorry, that was a really dumb, buffoonish laugh, but what you were saying
Baboonish laugh?
reminded me of
Yeah.
something that happened while I was in high school. So there was this kid that went to my high school. No names here, but there was this kid, and I didn't really know him.
We'll give him a
that
name
well.
just for the story so people can...
Uh,
Let's call him
Richard.
Richard.
It's gonna be Richard.
Okay.
So Richard was a bit of a goofy dude. He was a nice dude, but he was a bit goofy. Looked a little goofy, acted a little goofy. Nice guy though. And if Richard, you're listening to this, I love you. But there was another kid, a little bit mean. There was a kid. I'll give him the name.
Why would you call out Richard when that's not even his name?
Just in case?
Richard, if you're listening,
Richard,
it's not even his name.
Richard, I love you.
You're talking to him, but it's not... Okay, go on.
So then let's give another kid. Let's give him the name Brandon. All right. So Brandon was a little bit of an edgy out there.
So
kid.
wait, is this? Are you replacing Brandon with Richard, or is Brandon different from Richard?
No, Brandon's a different kid.
Okay.
One day Richard was at lunch, standing up, and Brandon came and with one swift motion, withdrew the boy's slacks down to his legs. But with his slacks also came his underpants.
Oh.
And Richard's little meaty bits were
Little meaty bits.
exposed to a large portion of students.
What about teachers?
Not that I know of, but basically a lot of girls saw his penis.
Was it a tiny little boy penis?
From what I heard, I didn't see it, but from what I heard, yes, it was pretty small. I don't, but then again, dude, this is all high school like rumors going around. This did actually happen, but yeah, but basically, a lot of people saw his penis, and then what happened next? It's just heartbreaking, dude.
Shocked the world.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. He just kind of stood there and like pulled his pants back up and just like broke down into tears and then just ran away. Just I've been like, dude, Brandon looked like the biggest asshole in the world at that moment.
Because he was an asshole.
I know. And the kid, it gets worse,
Fuck
dude.
him. That's high school.
That's
where kids are the shittiest.
I know. And Richard runs to the principal's office crying. And dude, his mom had to come pick him up from school. His mom had to come get him early.
Now show me what you were embarrassed of. Now that's not something to be embarrassed of. God, I'm sorry.
But like, I remember I saw his mom picking him up. I was in Spanish class and I looked out the window and I saw him like kind of sniffling and getting in his car or something. I don't really remember. It was years ago, but I just feel so bad for him. That's such like a shitty story. Imagine how embarrassing that was for him. That was like a nightmare.
Afterwards, did he fall into a vat of acid and become the antagonizer?
Yeah.
Oh my God, prom. I went to junior and senior prom.
I did too, and junior prom was a blast. Senior prom sucked ass.
Both proms were decent. I just like the events surrounding them were pretty just weird. Let me paint the picture for you, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah, paint it for me.
Junior year.
Yeah.
Ryan knows a gal that he's been friends with since sophomore year of high school.
Ryan, that's a whole year.
Yeah,
Friends with the girl for a whole year.
Yeah, no, she broke up with her boyfriend recently.
Ooh.
And her boyfriend was jealous of me because we hung out a lot and we talked and we were like, hey, how you doing? I actually started to develop feelings for her. While she was still in the relationship. And so I was like, hey, do you want to go to the prom? She's like, no. I was yeah, sorry. Someone already asked me. I was like, uh-oh. And then it turns out that other guy invited just a bunch of girls to the prom just to like, so maybe one would say yes. So like it ended up that she was just one of the many yeses that he had.
That's so shitty.
I know. So she was like, fuck it. And then we went. And then there was a chocolate fountain with cheese and crackers and shit.
Cheese in the chocolate fountain and crackers?
No, the chocolate fountain was separate, and then they also had cheese.
I love fondue.
And then crackers. And then senior prom, I wore a big dumb gray tux.
Like
I looked like
your grandpa's funeral.
Yeah, I looked like a fucking clown.
Well, might have been the clown shoes. So junior prom, I don't really remember it that much. I don't even remember junior prom right now. What?
Really?
Oh, I remember it now. Yeah. That was fun.
Wasn't that long ago for you? What, like a year ago?
Very funny, Ryan. No, I junior prom was fun. I danced my pants off, had a good time. And then senior prom, basically I went with a girl who's my friend, and then the girl I actually liked, I saw her talking about how cute this other guy was, and I got really depressed, and then I went...
Depressed?
And
you got depressed?
Yeah, I was like...
You were depressed because of this?
I was really upset. I was like, oh man. So I just left prom. And also at my prom, so they booked this venue that I guess they sold more tickets than the venue would allow people in. So people were like, we paid $50 for a prom ticket. Like, you got to let us in. And people would like refuse to leave. They're like, yeah, sorry guys, some of you just need to leave prom even though you paid.
What?
Yeah, no, it was a clusterfuck. So then the DJ they hired was this just white, like 40-year-old dude named DJ Kyle. And DJ Kyle put his hands up in the air and refused to play music until people left.
What a fucking cunt,
So
dude.
guess what? Almost every single person at prom left and got a refund.
Good.
And the
Did you get a
entire
refund?
No, I didn't. I don't know why I never pursued that.
Your dad was like, He's not my son.
I felt
He
I
was
don't know.
not a true man. He did not, because only true men ask for refunds.
That is true. Only true men. But I don't know.
True.
I felt bad for the woman kind of like organizing the prom because
Not her. Well,
it wasn't her fault, but it was her loss, and I liked her a lot, and I felt bad for her, so I guess I just didn't really bother. But I walked back to my car, which I parked like a fucking mile away, and I was kind of passed out in my car, and I felt like shit. And then that was a depressing night of my life.
Depressing.
It was pretty depressing.
Depression. What a depressing night.
It was depressing.
Yeah, if prom's one of the most
I
depressing.
didn't say it was
times
one of
in
the
your
most
life.
depressing. I just said it was depressing.
Prom is depressing.
It was
When you're
definitely
there.
depressing for Ryan. Yeah, but then that was my senior prom, and it was fun. It was awful, absolutely awful. They played really shitty songs, and DJ Kyle wouldn't play the tunes. Thanks, DJ Kyle. What do you want to talk about? Just riding it around. Let's talk about skateboarding, Ryan. Let's talk about fucking skateboarding.
I used to skateboard. I used to do
skateboarding's
some
rad.
fucking sick ollies. I
dude.
never grinded.
No.
Like, I could never grind. But I did ollies. I could do ollies. That's one thing I could do.
I couldn't do an ollie, and I always grinded. So if you put our skills together, we would have been a marginal skateboarder.
We've been the Tony Hawk of our generation. Skateboarding's out of fashion, right?
Yeah, it's actually funny. It was like an art form in a way that was so popular during the mid '90s and shit, and then just
Well, it originated from surf culture, didn't
yeah,
it?
it just died though. So, like skateboarding, back in like the '90s and stuff, skateboarding was like everyone had sponsors. It was huge. It was all over TV and shit. Like
The video games made money.
everybody knew like who famous skateboarders were, and then they just fucking dropped off the face of the earth. Like I got an Uber a couple months ago. And my Uber driver was telling me about how in the 90s he was a professional skateboarder, that he knew Tony Hawk and Bam, and he used to skate with like Spike Jones and stuff.
This is an Uber driver, so you know.
Yeah, that shows what he teaches high school now, so that kind of shows what happened with skateboarding. But I don't know. It was a really interesting culture. But talking about skateboarding, when I was in middle school, I certainly was into skateboarding myself. And I used to go to my friend's house, my friend Josh, and we would bust out our boards and have a little fun in his driveway. Like I would,
Mine was a pool parking lot, yeah.
I would do a manual, and I would go up a ramp and go down a ramp. I was pretty good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know what I like doing?
What?
Getting someone on my electric scooter after it was repaired, because we did repair it after that great crash.
The great crash of 2001.
Whenever it was. Not that one. Not that one.
Yeah, not the other great crash of 2001 you might be thinking of.
After I got my scooter repaired and all that bullshit, just take like a rope or something, hang on to the back with your skateboard. It was a fun time.
Oh, and someone would pull you. You know what
Yeah.
I did was I had a longboard, which I actually, even still now, I don't have one in California, but I still enjoy longboarding.
There's a very popular Rocket Power episode about longboarding versus skateboarding and all that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I like longboarding. It's just very casual. It's fun, putting in headphones and then just kind of like cruising around some smooth pavement.
I want an electric longboard.
An electric longboard. What?
Yeah.
They make those?
Yeah. They're pretty much the electric skateboards, except, longer.
Oh, those kids and their electric skateboards. But I used to get on a longboard, and I had a golden retriever named Casey. I love you, Casey. And I love you too, Casey. And
Help! I'm suffering.
no. And basically, I would put him on his leash, and then he would just pull me around the neighborhood.
Casey's not a boy's name.
Yeah, it is. It's a unisex name.
Ew!
You mean, dude, my biggest YouTube rival in 6th grade was when I first started doing
Casey Anthony.
YouTube. No, not Casey Anthony.
Okay,
While she is, I do have some personal rivalries with her. My personal YouTube rival was this kid named Casey that was in my visual arts class in middle school, and we both made YouTube videos on our really old channels, and we always were like feuding about who was copying one another. And God, I remember one time, like, I called him on the phone after school. We had like a call, and I was like, "Stop copying me!" And we got in this big fight and stuff. And he's like, "I don't want to be your friend anymore." And like YouTube was just tearing us apart. It was crazy. But wait, funny story about Casey. Casey, if you're listening, I think you'll enjoy this, because I was going through my laptop last night, and I had a lot of old. I stumbled upon an old Dropbox folder I had that was just nothing but stuff from like 2009. I almost said 2009, 2010, 2011. and it was I found this rap song Casey had made, and Casey was this little white kid that liked skateboarding and making YouTube videos and magic tricks.
White. Vanilla. Disgusting. I do not like the vanilla bros.
Ew, gross, vanilla people. But basically, Casey made this like
So bland.
I gotta show you, Ryan. Casey made a rap song, like not a joking one. He made like a serious hard rap song with his brother, and it is, no offense, Casey, it is absolutely awful. I showed Chris, and Chris was just like, we're laughing our asses off at it. And Chris said that we should take that rap song that he made when he was in like 7th grade, and we should just make like a high quality music video for it, just like
awesome.
with us, and like preface it like. Like this kid in middle school made this rap and like I just rediscovered it, so now we're producing like the music video it's always deserved. And dude, the lyrics are like he's talking about like getting like a blumpkin and stuff, which if you don't know what a blumpkin is, it's when you get filleted upon when a girl gives you oral sex while you are going number 2 on the can.
Did people do that in high school?
I didn't do that in high school.
I most certainly didn't do that in high school. I don't remember that.
I don't remember. I don't know anyone that's ever received a so-called blumpkin. Forgot what I was gonna say. I love when I forget what I was gonna say. you know, I don't even have to make like the sound, but when it, fuck,
What are you doing?
this is really hard.
Is
Ryan.
it?
Yeah. Because the motion controls make it
Turn
like,
them
jitter
off
all
and
over
just control with the arrows.
You can't do that.
You
the
can't?
game is a motion game.
Oh yeah, I forgot we're playing the excellent Wii.
We're playing the classic Nintendo Wii.
The world-renowned Wii system with the best motion controls since the iToy.
The PlayStation iToy. Was it for PlayStation?
It's PlayStation 2.
Stop!
I remember I had a lot of fun with the iToy.
Oh, my friend had one.
I tricked one of my friends into seeing my penis and butthole with it. Because we would take turns going in the room and making a funny video, and one of the videos was me just spreading my
dude.
asshole. He was like, and I closed the door, and then all I hear is,
Ryan, you were that one friend that always did gay stuff. There's always that one friend that would start like jerking off when you're over at their house, and you're like, oh, okay.
well, I didn't do that. I wasn't like, it's not like it was like a 2-minute clip of me like jerking off and looking at the camera, and I was waiting outside of the fucking room nervous, like, oh my god, does he like it or doesn't he? I hope he likes it. Fuck.
On the fucking
Fuck, I ruined our friendship.
Dude, you know what we should do? Ryan, I would love to just
Play
sit
with the
down.
iToy?
Yeah, I'd love to get an iToy and then play that same game, and then it would probably devolve into some. It'd probably get really weird.
All you
if
do
we
is
did it.
record clips and you have effects like swatting away bees and shit.
Did you put bees around your asshole, make it look like your asshole was the beehive, and the bees
No,
are
I
going
just
in?
remember filming
Getting
a
some of
video.
that sweet honey.
I just remember filming a video and then spreading my asshole and having my little tiny boy balls.
How old were you, Ryan?
I don't know, however old I was when the PlayStation 2 and iToy were a thing.
Dude, you were probably like 12.
Well,
Or
good thing I
13.
wasn't playing with like my uncle or something. That would have been a little strange.
Yeah, the piece of information Ryan didn't disclose. His friend was actually just a family friend that was like 40.
My mom.
God!
You fucking died, you dumbass.
I'm a dip, dude.
Be like, hey, Lego.
Which is very frustrating. God damn!
I'm gonna allow you to focus. Should I tell a story of some sort?
Go ahead.
A real life story, or do you want it to be like fiction? What do you want me to do?
Holy shit.
What do you feel?
You know what, Ryan? Give me. Fuck! Tell me a story, Ryan. Tell me one of your classic Ryan fables.
Ryan fables.
Tell me a good one.
Okay, so I can't remember for what birthday it was. Maybe my 14th birthday. I got like a motorized scooter,
Yeah.
and it had a little trunk, and it was red, and I was like,
Scooter at a trunk?
yeah, it had a little trunk.
I don't get where a trunk would fit on a scooter.
What do you mean on the back?
Yeah, it's a scooter though.
Scooters are vehicles. They're not like bikes. They're not like skinny little pipes. That's basically what a bike is.
just a
series
pipe
of
with wheels?
pipes with wheels. But like the scooter had like a little trunk, and one time I decided to go off road with this scooter, which isn't a good idea. It's a fucking scooter. You suck at this game! And so I saw this bridge, and I wanted to go over the bridge with it. And I started pulling on the gas, because it's with you have to go vroom vroom with your wrist. You know what I'm talking about? The flick of the wrist to go vroom vroom on a
Look at the
scooter.
flick of the wrist.
Yeah, the flick of the wrist. And I go about halfway on the bridge, and my wheel catches midway on the bridge, and I just go like flying forward. My scooter gets wrecked, and I end up with this scrape on my arm. And I remember going to my mom, and for some reason, like the stupidest part of it was, it's like, Ryan, what happened? And I'm going home, and I don't have my scooter or anything, and it's obvious that, like, what happened? I'm like,
Wait, what happened to your scooter? Where'd it go?
I just left it down there.
Wait.
Because it broke, and I didn't want to drag it uphill or take it back to the house, so I just
left it at the bottom of the hill?
I just left it at the bottom of the hill in, like, this wooded area.
Along with your dignity?
Yeah.
You just left it, you're just like, oh, man. Did anyone see you crash a scooter?
Yeah, there's this asshole that was, like, on one of those riding lawnmowers. He was, like, I was in this park area where there were also woods, and he was just cutting the grass, and he saw me fucking fall, and I'm like this 10-year-old kid, and I lay on the ground for a while because I was hurt. Matt.
This is a really fucking hard level. This is really difficult, dude.
Anyways, so, he just saw me. He stopped, looked over at me, then kept cutting the grass even as I was laying motionless on the ground.
Like, what a stupid little prick.
Yeah. I told my mom and she got really mad. She's like, why would you try to go over a bridge on your motorized scooter that's just meant for sidewalks? I said, because I'm gay, Mom.
Okay, Ryan,
Yeah.
this is so hard.
Do you want any other mediocre scooter stories?
Do you have more scooter stories?
No?
God damn it.
I once tried to see if I could fit the scooter, like the motorized scooter, in a porta
Into your
potty.
anus? Yes.
Oh, you tried to do that as well?
Why did you?
I'm kidding.
Hold on. Why did you try to put it in a porta potty? Why? Like, what was the end goal of that?
There's no end goal. I was just a dumb kid.
That's
it's
not
one of those
something
things.
a dumb
Like,
kid would do. That's just weird.
can I fit this? I just looked at a porta potty. I looked at my scooter. I'm like, I bet you I could fit it in there.
Can I get my nice electric toy inside of this disgusting cesspool of a porta potty? I had a big debut once.
Mm-hmm.
Was
it as grand as Burt Wonderstone's?
No, I wish. That was a good fucking movie, though. I wish that I could go back and stop this from happening, but I couldn't. When I was in 8th grade, I had the task to play drums on stage with a small band of my friends.
Do you remember what you were called?
We didn't have a name. It wasn't like a
Small band. Small band with friends.
Small band with friends. That's what we called ourselves. And it was at a popular bar because we were all taking guitar lessons at this guitar place. And the year before, I had played Boulevard of Broken Dreams on stage with my guitar with several other guys my age. I was one chord pattern off, by the way. Like when they were playing C, I was playing G, and then I messed up. But the next year I went back and I played drums this time, and I also messed up. We did the song "Holy Diver" by Dio.
By MacGyver.
"Holy Diver" by MacGyver. And I played drums. I was a little nervous, hadn't practiced enough.
Yeah.
Ryan, I dropped my drumsticks 6 times in
6
one
full
song.
times. 6 full times.
I dropped my drumsticks. They slipped out of my hand, and then I think the 4th time, one of them rolled off the stage. Huh. And I had to quickly reach in my side pouch to pull another drumstick out. But God, what was going? Like, I still remember the shock and fear I felt being on stage. Because I used to not get stage fright. I think that might have been what triggered my terrible fear of stage fright.
I love how it goes. You drop it one, you're like, that's the worst thing that could possibly happen. You drop it a second time, a second time, a third time, you're like, oh, that's just too much.
Oh,
a 4th time,
I can't possibly drop it a 4th time.
You're like, what the fuck is going on? A 5th time. Fuck! Fuck!
At a 5th time, I'm thinking, like, that's it. I can't possibly drop my drumsticks
again. And then
again.
a 6th time, I bet you were just... You were broken. You were a broken man at this point.
Oh man, and I remember my family was so nice. My mom and dad and sisters were like, "It sounded so good." Aww. And there's a video of this whole performance somewhere. I need to find it.
I would love to see it.
Wait, it might be on YouTube actually somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, not under anything that you'd be able to find me. I remember my friend's mom uploaded it, and it was some weird, like, it was just a file name with a bunch of numbers .mp4.
On VHS, I have an old sketch comedy show I had back when I was in probably late elementary school.
What network?
It was on the Silly channel. It was on the Silly Billy channel. It was just me, my cousin, and the Silly Billies.
Wow, dude.
I'm kidding, that wasn't it. It was called Silly Stuff with Ryan and Connor.
Wow. What was it? What was on it?
Just we we were voices for stuffed animals, and we made a bunch of jokes.
Was that the whole show, or did it have like different segments?
Had different segments.
I love that shit, though. It's so cool when kids make that, though.
We'd make credits at the end, and because you couldn't really cut things out and edit them, we faked bloopers at the end to have a blooper reel. Like, we went and set back up all the other sketches and stuff, but like did blooper reels for them.
Oh, I did that same shit. My friend and I, when I was a kid, technology is really advanced. I remember
back like when we were kids, even adults then were like, "What the fuck, a camera?" But now look, but the jump is just so big.
It was so exponential with cameras and stuff because I remember the first movies I ever made, the first videos I ever made, like little sketches and stuff, that was on a huge bulky video camera on a tripod that used tapes that had to be plugged into the wall at all times. Couldn't unplug it from the wall. And then when I wanted to watch the stuff, I would have to take the little tape out and I'd have to put it into a specially made VHS that
you connect the AV cables in and shit.
No.
Oh.
Well, I think you could. I don't know, but we had to put the tape inside of like it was a VHS made to have a tape put inside it.
Oh, I've
seen that. And it was always you could barely even see it because it was so poor quality. The VHS thing was so distorted, so you could barely see what we were making. But my friend and I had this show called The Match Show. And it was just like
the Match Show.
That's all it was. I was the main character because he didn't like being on camera. So I was like, let's make the Match Show. And then no, you know what? The first videos I ever made before the Match Show were Hot Wheels videos. Like my friend and I would get the camera and we'd go out in the garden and we'd film these entire like action sequences with Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Man, I wonder if they still have those. I would love to get that developed somehow and see it.
I remember I would choose a Hot Wheels car that looked similar to my dad's and like push it off of the roof and big like, whoa!
Jesus. Do you want to kill your dad?
I pushed my dad off of the roof in his car. He's just up on the roof in his car, just chilling out, enjoying the stars.
But I mean, like, that's so mean, Ryan. What if one day your dad had accidentally gotten shrunk down to the size of a little Cheerio and didn't know what to do, and he saw that car and he's like, my car, it also shrunk. And he got him and you pushed the whole thing off the roof.
And then he's just a mangled pot of bones.
A mangled pot of bones?
Yeah, nice.
Where did the pot come in?
A nice cauldron of bones.
How did he end up in a cauldron?
I don't know.
Was that below the roof?
That's what's left of him. I don't know what to tell you, Matt. That's what's left of him.
What do you mean that's what's left of him? How did he become a cauldron of bones?
I'm telling you that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Hey, I don't know. I
don't make the rules here.
Yeah, I'm just telling you the facts. He's a cauldron of bones now. Pushed him off the roof in a Hot Wheels car, and now he's a cauldron of bones.
This is so stupid.
No.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Because you say shit like cauldron of bones, and I'm gonna obviously push it more and try to understand it.
Because it's like I just say fuck it, and I'm gonna say a pile of bones, but I'm like, what would be better? What would be weirder?
A pot of bones.
What would be odd? Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine your dad falls off the roof and you run around the side of the house to see if he's okay, and it's just a pot of bones. It's like a cooking pot.
Dad! No! Please, no!
You're rattling the pot of bones, giving it CPR.
Dad!
Little rattles everywhere.
Rattles?
Yeah, because you're trying to give it CPR and the bones are rattling.
Okay, yeah. Okay. The bones are rattling, yeah. There's this weird story. There's like this awkward moment. There's like this guy that had a wheelchair and it was electronic and so it was slow. And he worked at the movie theater that I used to go to a lot. And one time it was just me and my friend in the theater, and I had my feet kicked up on the seats, and he just goes. Hey, I looked down and I'm like, what? Hey,
What?
I know.
You're crippled. What?
But anyway, so like he was like, take your feet off the seats.
Oh, he was
and then
yelling at
then
you.
he did this motion. He went. So I was like,
Prostate exam.
I was like, fuck. Me and my friends, my friend were young, so we like got up and like followed him, and we walked. And I guess he didn't notice, but he was like,
He didn't.
We followed him like all the way out the theater and like into where, and all of a sudden like we just stood behind him for like a while because we thought he was like, come here, we need to talk type of thing. And then he just like eventually just, I guess you gotta. You're me. This is this guy.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Did you accidentally follow him?
Yeah, he didn't mean for us to follow him, so we just followed him and stood behind him and stared at him for like a total of probably like 2 or 3 minutes.
You followed him out of the theater?
Yeah, because I thought he was like, "You're in big trouble.
It
Come
could have been
here
like
for
a twitch or a
punishment."
tick. He's like,
What?
Siri, how do you say Pisces? Fuck, never mind. All right. That sums up Siri in one quick thing.
I'll try. Siri, how do I say Pisces?
No match found.
All right,
Siri,
Siri, good
what's
job.
the fish sign? The thing with the fish.
I'm sure she'll understand that one.
Match found.
Siri, what's it called?
The
What are
fish
signs called?
constellation.
What's the
Star
fish
Zodiac
constellation?
sign, the Zodiac
what's the
sign.
fish zodiac sign, Siri?
No match
Hold
found.
on, just Siri, what's the fish zodiac symbol called?
Calling 318.
No, what are you doing?
What is she doing? Who's
She's
she calling?
someone. Okay,
Who?
I cancel. I don't know.
Do you have someone in your phone as the fish zodiac sign?
Who was it calling?
All right, so in this level, I just want to get as many fish as I can in 5 minutes. There's no size limit or goal. It's
How many
just,
fish?
As many as I can. No
How
goal.
many?
As many as I can.
Is that a cowfish? Was that cow like a part fish? Are you not?
Sorry, I'm too busy listening to this wonderful song of this child singing.
I'm just interested in the things in this game.
I don't know. Did it look like a cowfish? I didn't see a
It
cowfish.
was a cow in the water, and it looked like it had little attachments.
Well, this game has a lot of weird shit, so I'd say probably.
Stingrays are so cool.
Stingrays are terrifying. Have you ever stepped on one?
No.
Like, in the ocean? You'll be wading
Have
through
you?
the... Yeah. Or no, I was on someone's back when they stepped on one.
What? They stepped on one, but it was on their back?
So they sit
What
on
are
the...
you talking about?
So they sit on the bottom of the seafloor.
Yeah, but how was it on their back if they stepped on
I
it?
was on someone's back.
Oh.
I was at surf camp when I was a kid, and it was too deep for me, so I was on like the instructor's back because he was waiting me out to go get back to my surfboard. And then he stepped on a stingray and he jumped and was like, "Wow!" Because when you step on them, they flip around and freak out.
I step on crabs a lot more. I hate that.
Oh, dude.
They scuttle underneath you and they try to reach up and pinch
Yeah,
you.
dude, they try to pinch you. I
Dude,
hate
this
them.
one time I was in deep water in like the ocean and I wasn't as scared of the ocean as I am today. And like I stepped on a crab and I swear to God, like I was trying to run away from it, but it was like scuttling and like following me and pinching at
Oh,
my
they're
feet and
aggressive.
shit.
They'll chase you.
And I was like, fuck that. And so I swam to shore
Yeah,
and
dude.
died.
Crabs will chase you for sure. Well, back in South Carolina, like off the coast, there's a lot of blue crabs, the type you eat, or one of the types you eat, and they have huge, huge claws, and they will not hesitate to try to snap you.
They
when-
chase, dude. I don't understand that though.
Yeah, they're fearless little creatures. Because think about how small they are, and then there's these massive things. And most animals, when they see something bigger, they're like, "That's a predator. I need to stay away." But these things are like, "No, I'm gonna chase it and make it mad."
But you know what? The thing is, us humans, like, honestly, it's a good thing that we kind of are like, oh no, we can't kill this small little crab, boo-hoo. It's like, if we really wanted to, we just step on it and go, and smush it.
Yeah, I that makes me cringe. The thought of that though.
If there was any animal giving you a problem that like is smaller than you could easily just step on it and it's dead. But you don't because you're like, oh, it's an animal.
You got morals. You got
Even if
feelings.
it's being a dick, you have to be like, oh, it doesn't know better.
Yeah, because it's an animal. It can't do critical thinking.
But then when it's a bear, you're like, oh, yep, shoot it in the head. Kill it. I don't like it.
or like a lion. I don't know, like or like
no,
a gorilla.
only dentists kill lions.
Wow.
You know what brings back the memories for me?
What?
A dirty, gross pool.
Mm.
Well, back before
Yeah.
I lived in my second house. My dad and I lived in an apartment.
Ryan owns 2 houses.
Yeah,
With all that ad revenue from YouTube.
that's right. This I'm not talking about back when I was young. But back when I was young, my dad and I lived in an apartment and we had a pool that they would never clean. And one day for my birthday or something, my dad got me this little motorized boat. Like I could drive around in the pool because no one's at the pool. So we go try it out, and I try to kind of maneuver the boat around, but because they never cleaned the pool and there were so many leaves, it would always get stuck in the middle of the pool.
Ah.
And then I threw it away.
was Aaron.
It was Aaron? People are going to know real quick. But anyways, I was talking about
Your toy boat.
my toy boat that I never got to play with because they would never clean our pool at this apartment complex.
So it would just get
also,
stuck.
this apartment complex, they wouldn't allow our dog.
What'd you do?
We sent him over to my aunt. Sent her over. My dog was Mina. She was a key sound. But we sent her over to my aunt and uncle so they would look after her, and they have like an outdoor area where she could run around. One time, my dad and I were heading over there to kind of go see Mina, and we see Mina walking on the side of the street, and we're just like, what? And so we open the door, we're like, is that? And we just call, Mina! And she like perks up her head, she comes, runs, sits in the car, and then we just go to their front porch with Mina. We're like, hey, here's the dog. And they're like, oh, whoops. And she dug right under the fence. And now she's dead.
Goodbye.
See you, Barry.
Bye, Barry.
Thanks.
My friend had this remote control helicopter.
Yeah.
And he called me over one time when we were in high school. He's like, dude, you want to go test this thing out? It goes really high. So I came over and we were playing with it. I think it was a helicopter. It was either a helicopter or a drone. I think it was a helicopter, but we were having a great time with it. And we took it to this place in Charleston called Sullivan's Island, which is this island. It's a barrier island off the coast of South Carolina. And we went there and we went up on top of a really tall hill. And we flew it up off the hill and it started flying away. And I was like, wow, look how high up it is, because it had flown away from the hill. So now it was over just regular land. So it was double high. Then I guess it was too high up and too far away. And a big design flaw was when this thing gets out of range, it just continues the signal. It lasts red. So the helicopter just kept going and just kept going. Just took off in the sky, a couple 100 feet up, and just, it was gone.
A remote control airplane that I accidentally flew into like a horse pen, and one of my uncles had to go climb it and get it, and he was chased by a horse trying to get back my motorized plane.
But the helicopter ended up finally it just fell.
Yeah.
And we just watched it fall, and it fell into a small thicket or forest, like a little wooded area that we had to climb into on the side of a hill and get it out. And
Did you find a troll?
No, we didn't find a troll, Ryan. I had another toy. Did you ever? Because I loved virtual pets when I was a kid. That was my favorite type of toy.
How much did you love virtual pets?
I loved them a lot. I had a bunch of Tamagotchis.
You had real pets though at the time, also, right?
I did have real pets, of course. I just liked.
What do you think you're gonna look back on with which provided more fond memories?
The pets, the real pets.
You think?
Yeah, I'd say they provided me with equally fond memories. Because
equally, okay.
Because these toys were so nostalgic. They influenced my creativity into the modern day. But I had a bunch of Tamagotchis, and I would even, when I first started learning how to use the internet, I would go on like Tamagotchi forums. And there was
Tamagotchi forums?
Yeah, they were big. I remember I just read around like looking for info on the new Tamagotchi. And there was a graveyard section of the website where people would write little memorials to their Tamagotchis who had died. And the website just played a mid-eye version of hold on, what was the fucking song?
It's a Hard Knock Life.
No, it's very sad. Dun,
just
dun,
the two of us.
Hold on. Dun 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 dun. No, wait.
I Hurt.
Give me a second.
Featured in the trailer to Logan.
It's like bum 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 bum. Ryan.
Yeah.
It's the song that's like bum 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 bum. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was that song, and it would play, and it was really sad.
Why would it play that song? It's just how come kid things like make you sad? I'm gonna bring up Minecraft, but the music in Minecraft, after a while of playing around in it when I was like back in, I guess, high school,
Yeah.
it just made me depressed.
The music didn't make me depressed. I thought
boom,
I thought it was very like
boom,
peaceful and artistic and somber.
boom.
Can I express my fear of gray aliens to you, Ryan?
Yeah, of course.
So it all started when I was younger. I used to watch, like late at night, I'd watch YouTube videos about proof of gray aliens and stuff, and I'd read all these stories on Wikipedia about UFO incidents, and they'd scare the ever-living shit out of me. And it got to the point where I was so paranoid, every night before bed, I would close my blinds all the way so, I don't know, so they couldn't like peek in. I was fucking paranoid of gray aliens.
I was scared of them. Oh, I can't collect it when I'm a... I was scared of aliens, but only because like all the stories were like, they came to my bedside.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was so scared. I shut all my closet doors. I'd lock my door at night. and I'd keep a light right by me so I could turn on instantly in case I heard something, because I was terrified I was gonna wake up and see gray aliens standing in my room. And one night, I woke up, and I don't know why, I just woke up and my heart was pounding, so I looked down at the foot of my bed, and at the foot of my bed, I saw a small gray figure standing there. And my heart started racing, and I broke out into a cold sweat. I can't remember being more scared in my life than in that moment. I screamed for my mom, and she came in and turned on the lights, and I figured out it was just the moonlight shining.
It was just your uncle.
It was just my uncle just sitting watching me sleep as he normally does.
Little small bald gray man.
It was the moonlight hitting my closet door. Scared the absolute shit out of me though.
I have to do all this shit again.
Oh god damn it.
My first girlfriend, Ryan.
Was stupid.
Well, no, she's very sweet. Actually,
Did she break up with you, or did you break up with her?
it was kind of mutual. And god damn it,
That's
dude.
what they all say.
Well, okay, so here's what happened. Okay, we talked over text, and this is back in the days of real shitty like Nokia phones. So I could only speak to her with like a really shitty phone.
Okay.
And oh my god, stop. Basically, we talked for a while, and then one day I was like, do you want to be my girlfriend? And she was like, yeah, I'll be your girlfriend. We never even hung out outside of school though. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day, like we didn't even see each other at school. We didn't even have the same classes. We just knew each other. So after school, we were walking to the bus, and I was like, let's hold hands. So I tried holding hands with her, but then oh my, this little fucker's rebuilding shit. Tried holding hands, and she held it for like 2 seconds and then stopped.
Really?
Maybe my hands were clammy, or maybe she just wasn't that into me.
I remember the first time I held hands with a girl.
This shit is fast.
It was at a Christmas movie, believe it or not. We were the movie I had my first intimate contact with
Medea's
a female
Christmas.
it was a Jim Carrey's animated feature, A Christmas Carol.
That was when you had your first intimate contact. Did you get handy in the back of the theater during Jim
No,
Carrey's?
I held her hand. I didn't get a handy.
Same thing, dude.
I also never mind. I don't want to tell that story.
Well, you gotta tell it now.
We were young and we were probably very. You know how like the whole thing like teens is like, oh, you're kissing in the back of the movie theater.
Did you do that? I've never done that.
Yeah, except it was right next to like this middle-aged white mom, and like we were watching The Blind Side.
The Blind Side?
Yeah.
You made out to The Blind Side, Ryan?
This was like my second time ever kissing a girl, and I was like, whoa, because we weren't gonna do it in youth group. We weren't gonna do it over at her house because her dad's this scary military dude.
What was it? Was it just? Was the movie just getting you going, man? Who's the woman in that movie? What's her name? Tina Fey? Not Tina Fey.
Tina Fey.
Who is it?
Blind Side.
Who is it?
Sacha Baron Cohen.
It's not Sacha Baron Cohen. Stop it. Who was it?
It's the woman that plays a white woman, but I don't think she's white.
She plays a white woman that saves a young troubled black man, and that
starts
movie,
with an S. She was in that.
Sandra.
Huckabee Sanders.
It was Sarah Huckabee Sanders and her. Oh fuck! I clicked the button, but it didn't swing in time.
Dude, cartwheels.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders in The Blind Side. Where she saves Ben Carson. I didn't actually finish my story though.
Cool.
Oh my God, Ryan.
What?
I'm about to screech. Okay, so
Promise.
God, I'm getting so distracted by these ice climbing fucks. Basically, she didn't want to hold my hand. I tried the next day. She didn't want to hold my hand. And I'm like, we're dating. Why aren't you holding my hand? Maybe we should try hanging out outside of school sometime.
Did you make sure to grab her by the arm and like?
I said, hold my hand. You insolent bitch. And then we were texting, and I was like, hey, do you not want to date? And she was like, okay. And that's how we broke up.
That's essentially what happened with my first actual relationship, because we dated for 9 months. That was my first like real relationship. The youth group girl that now.
Your youth group pastor?
Yeah.
My first real relationship.
He did come over to my house once.
We're gonna try Mountain 32. Continue, Ryan. I'm interested to hear this.
He brought like this filmmaker he befriended over to my house. I know that sounds weird.
That sounds really weird.
Sounds weird.
Yeah, so me and this guy who makes movies, we're gonna come on over to your house and we're gonna shoot a little movie.
Home.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
So your youth pastor came over with a guy who he befriended that uses a camera to make movies while your parents weren't home to make a movie with you. This kid he knew from his youth group.
I was probably like a sophomore in high school.
Okay, that makes it a little better. Still. No, it doesn't, because you're not 18 at that point, all right? Well, it's still weird altogether.
Sophomore in high school, I was like 15.
Oh, that's right. Okay, never mind. So you're still young.
Yeah.
And what happened? What kind of movies did you make?
Well, first, before we went to my place, we met we met at some like pizza restaurant, and he
Ping
bought
pong pizza. Comet ping pong pizza.
no,
in Washington D.C.
And he bought me pizza, and then he's like,
Mike's Hard Lemonade, Ryan?
then he's like, then he brought up his filmmaker friend, and it got me excited. I was like, whoa, I want to make something. He's like, I could probably hit him up right now, and we could probably go over to your place. I was like, okay. And so like I called my parents. I was like, is it okay if my youth pastor and his filmmaking friend and me are at my house, are at our place?
And they said yes.
Yes.
Your parents were just like, yeah, whatever. a grown man and his filmmaking friend want to come hang out at my house when we're not home.
They want to go hang out with
little Ryan. Oh my God.
But we created this fucking thing because my thing was Hazard Productions.
Yeah, Rhino Hazard.
And,
was this before Rhino Hazard? Or was this just Hazard Productions?
Yeah, and the filmmaker guy made me this like logo. I wish I could find it again. I doubt I could. Maybe when I could find it when I go home for Christmas. Who knows?
Oh, please. I'd love to see it.
It's this like production logo that the filmmaker dude made for me.
What?
For some reason, just to be nice. I don't know why he did it. And then it was me with a lightsaber, and I do the Zorro Z, and the Z in Hazard appears, and then I do a clock wipe, but with my lightsaber.
Please tell me you still have this so we can start SuperMega videos with it.
Oh, maybe one day we can start a SuperMega video with that. I wish I could. Maybe I could like look on like a hard drive back at like my place when I'm there during the holidays, because there's actually a lot of old shit from back in the day, and I would be interested if that's still on there somewhere.
We should do a video where we just like critique our old YouTube videos, like my old YouTube channel and shit. That'd be great. Shit. Thank you, everyone. I know someone clapped.
Number 24, like Jeff Gordon, my favorite NASCAR driver.
Was he number 24?
Yep.
Wow. Did he die? No, Dale Earnhardt died.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Dale Earnhardt died. Dale Earnhardt Jr. still races.
His son is still races. Remember when that happened? That was bigger news than 9/11 in my household.
When Dale Earnhardt died?
Yeah. I just remember hearing about it more than 9/11.
I honestly,
It was weird. I don't know why, but...
Isn't it weird that, like, we're at that weird age where, like, we lived through 9/11 and we were, like, conscious and stuff, but just because you're a kid, you didn't care or know?
So it was just like, what?
We lived through that entire 9/11, like, Iraq war era, and, like, just none of it stood out to me. Like, absolutely none of it stood out.
George Bush stood out a lot, but I think that's just because...
Yeah.
Because I told you, I got sent to the principal's office in middle school for me and my friend. We drew a funny picture of George Bush, and the principal got so upset, and they said, you know, you could be arrested for drawing something like this.
You told this and I forgot, and it's just as funny the second time.
Because some stupid dumbass principal at our middle school was probably some big old Republican and probably got butthurt that his idol George W. Bush.
Book 'em, boys.
I think we drew him naked or something.
Imagine being like, how old were you?
I don't know what age I was in. It had to be 7th grade, I think.
Fuck.
No, it was in 6th grade.
Fuck, I'm dying.
I did that in 6th grade.
Imagine, like, the police coming and arresting a fucking 6th grader for drawing George Bush
No one
naked.
was gonna fucking arrest me. I'm surprised my parents didn't, like, fucking have my back with that shit.
Honestly, if my kid did that, I wouldn't ground him. I'd be like, oh, like, get out of here. I'm dying. I'm trying to teleport away.
I'd send a complaint to the principal's office, and then under the signature, I'd have a very lewd picture of George Bush sucking the cock of every U.S. president in history.
That's a lot of presidents to draw naked. Let me run away. Stop it. Back to what you were saying. I'd just like to imagine like a 6th grader being taken out of the school in handcuffs for drawing George Bush with his penis out. Actually, I knew these two kids that were really weird, and they always drew comics. And they drew SpongeBob and Patrick naked.
Oh, I remember why he didn't like it too.
Why? What'd you do?
It was George Bush, but we made him look more monkey-ish, and we made him also hold a banana. It was just
Ryan.
It was because he had big ears.
He did have big ears.
So like we made him into like a George Bush naked monkey that was holding a banana.
All right, now it's one thing to draw the man naked, but to make him look like a monkey
holding a banana? A banana's a phallic object.
He just completely overlooks the fact that his cock is out.
Yeah.
What did you mean by this banana here, huh?
Are you trying to say that our president's gay? That won't stand. I'm calling the authorities immediately.
You're under arrest for making the president gay. What? No, I just drew him. Well, he's gay now because of it. What?
George is having some mental crisis in the White House. Like, is that how people see me?
and he becomes gay after like Mr. President, we have a crisis on our hands, and they like show him the drawing, and it's like Jesus Christ. And then after that moment, after seeing the drawing, he decides to choose to live the rest of his life as a gay man, like Kevin Spacey.
As a gay ape.
As a gay ape. It's my favorite clothing brand.
Gay ape.
I had this PE coach in high school, and we played dodgeball, and every time someone would get out, she'd go, "See ya!" She got real mad at me and my friend Gavin, because we always used to fuck around, and kind of, like, we'd always, we'd pretend to be gay with each other, and that really upset her for some reason.
With each other?
I don't know, like...
Why'd you pretend?
Oh, we'd suck each other's dicks in front of her, and it would really bother
That's not
her.
pretending.
She'd go, "Don't do that in my classroom." No, but we would always, like, I don't know. We freeballed it a lot because it was funny. And sometimes you pull stretch the little ball skin out of your gym shorts and be like, I got gum on my shorts.
Oh, Matt.
Not to the teacher, just to the other people. It was funny. And then, oh shit, dude. I just remember what we did in PE. We had a locker room with cages in it. And, we did this thing called, Freshman Fridays, where we get the freshmen and make them fight in the cage. Only if they, like, we didn't force them to. Only, like, they thought it was funny. Because I guess they wanted to impress the upperclassmen, so they would do it. And, there was this big, like, very large, fat guy named Frank. And he'd get in the cage, and there was some kid that was kind of scared of doing it, but he was like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And he got in, then we sent Frank in and shut the door. Oh god, one of them turned into a real fight once. It was pretty scary to watch. They were like slapping each other really hard. And...
Someone died?
Well, no, it was because like there was a big muscly guy and
Got another friend.
Oh, nice. Got the whole gang's all here. You got a my friend was like slapping him around in the cage because that's the point. But then the big like muscly jock actually got mad, and you could tell like he's like trying to actually hit him. I fought in the cage once.
You fought in the cage?
I did fight in the cage. It was very fun.
Did you ever do slap boxing in the bathroom?
Slap boxing? What's slap boxing?
You go to the bathroom and instead of real boxing, it's you slap.
You just slap each other?
Yeah. Another fucking buddy?
Oh, who thinks their arms are long enough to slap box?
Look at all these friends.
Oh my god, dude. Holy shit, how many do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? But we did this thing in dodgeball where I would get in my friend's shirt and stick my arms out of his sleeves, so like 4 arms were coming out of his sleeves. And I would have 2 dodgeballs, and then he would have 2 dodgeballs. He would throw them, and then he would grab the other 2 dodgeballs from my hands. So it was,
What's this?
It was like we were invincible in that game. You ever gotten water from a well?
No, have you?
Yeah, when I was, in high school, I went on a church trip to Jamaica to build some houses. And this little village had a well. And, leave it to me, the goofy white boy, to drop the bucket down the well.
What?
I dropped their like only bucket down the well, the bucket that they used to get water. I dropped it down the well because it was on a rope, and this kid was having a hard time getting the water up. So I'm like, here, I'll help you. And he kind of like reluctantly gave it to me and just stared up at me. And I lowered it down, and it hits the water, and it just sits on the surface because I guess it didn't drop down at a high enough force. So I'm like, okay, I'll drop it harder. So I'm like, I'll throw it down. It's on a rope, so I throw it down, and then I saw the end of the rope just go down the well, and I was like, oh my god. And the little kid just looked up at me like, you stupid white boy. And he ran and got his he probably was like, I'm about to get beat. And he ran and got his dad. And then him and like 3 other Jamaican dudes had to use like a series of like bamboo sticks and like lower each other down into the well to pull it out, all because of my mistake. So, to that Jamaican Village, I sincerely apologize. I fucked up on that one.
At least it's not painting someone's house a horrible color.
I love that story.
Mustard yellow, and then the roof was fucking forest green.
Oh, God.
Or the trimming, sorry, the trimming.
That sounds awful.
Or
That's like
whatever.
something out of like a kid's show.
It was awful. It looked so bad.
I'd be so mad if like a group
They were
of
like, I
church
wasn't
kids were like,
expecting it to be this color.
well, we'll paint your house. I'm like, all right, maybe a nice beige, maybe a light blue, maybe something just very neutral. Because I guess that's the thing when you're painting a house. Unless you have an idea in mind for something crazy, like a theme, you just want it to be neutral. Houses are usually very neutral. Like maybe like a nice earth tone. But no, you guys painted it mustard yellow.
It was just, it looked horrible.
I'd love to travel to that house and see if they ever painted it back. You probably cost them more work because they probably had to paint it back.
Oh no.
One time, I was on a bus and there was like a really weird girl sitting next to me back in high school, and this girl, so one time, like, so she wanted to go by some weird name that was like lol random, so
Like Arctic wolf.
Something weird. It was like pasta or something. Like she wanted to go by like Noodles or something. I don't remember. But I just remember like I didn't see this, but it was famous around my high school. Just one day during computer class, she reached in her backpack and pulled out a cup and then just like threw up into it and like set the cup down on her desk and just kept doing her work.
What?
Yeah, and like that, and also the same class period.
Was there a top to the cup?
No, she just threw up and set back. And then she got up, poured it out in the water fountain, just came back and kept working. And then the same class period, she just like sitting there silently, just.
Oh, come on.
And then just, that's it. She never acknowledged it.
That's me. I'm Noodles. I'm so fucking awesome.
Essentially, she rode my bus and she would wear a bicycle helmet on the bus. I was on the bus next to her once, early in the morning, and the sun hadn't fully come up yet, and I wanted to take a picture of her because she...
Why'd you want to take a picture of this
Because she had this look on her face like she was about to vomit everywhere. And this thing happened recently, so I was like, oh man, my friend watched it happen in that computer class, so I'll send him a picture, like say like, hey, look who I'm sitting next to on the bus. And I go to take a picture, dim bus, and I accidentally have my flash on, so I flash the camera right in her face.
I say that's like even though I don't believe in it, that's karma.
For what? For me trying to take a picture of her?
Yeah.
So then all I did, like to try to cover my trail, was I just started flashing my flashlight in all different directions around the bus to try to make it look like I was just playing around with my flashlight.
Because that's what normal people do.
Yeah.
That's a fucking... that must have not been this flash.
That's the same as like committing a crime and then walking past a police officer and whistling. Like
you should have just said, tag, you're it. And then she'd have thought it was a cute little game.
And then she would have wanted to date me and she'd give me a little love letter and throw up in a cup and give it to me.
She throws up the words "I love you" with like alphabet soup or whatever.
She eats the specific letters and throws it up. And she's like,
she has a talent for making them appear in order.
Thank God. Yeah, I had to practice a lot to get here. This one's for you, Noodles or pasta or whatever you went by. I don't remember. I don't think I ever even talked to you.
Here's to you, Parmesan.
I remember you had short hair and wore a bicycle helmet on the bus.
But not off the bus.
I think it's because she biked to the bus stop, so she would just put her helmet on like way ahead of time. Huh. She was prepared. She came prepared. That's why she brought the cup to class, and that's why she wore a bicycle helmet on the bus.
She was just ready to get home. She was like,
I just remember my fucking bus driver from high school, dude. It was this old white man who was like 70, and he had like a big white beard. He looked like Santa Claus, and he had like 4 outfits. He'd either dress up in a full Harley Davidson biker gear, or he would dress up in a full blue train conductor's outfit, or he would dress up completely in a like an old military uniform with all those badges, and he would drive the bus every day. And when you'd get on the bus, you go, hello, and then as people are getting off the bus, he would go, bye, bye. Bah, 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 just like that. And he crashed the bus 3 times in 1 year.
What? How did he crash the If you crash it once, you might lose your job, possibly just at least put on like leave or like, you know, maybe continue. You crashed the bus twice? You're definitely let go.
But
he crashed it 3 times and then he still drove it afterwards. He's driving children.
You know what he did?
Do you know what would happen if every parent on that, like, of the kids on that bus knew that he was in 3 separate accidents?
I'm sure a lot of them did. He was such a nice guy though. Like, so we're driving.
Sorry, I fucking killed your children. That's okay. You're a good fucking human.
I remember we were on the way to school. And he just slammed into someone at a red light, and like 3 cars bounced up on their front tires.
Jesus.
And they had to take someone away on a stretcher that was like 2 cars up.
That's not funny. That's fucked up.
And I think
this is this old man's fault.
I think the person he just wasn't paying attention. I feel really bad for him.
What you can't say that about automobile. He just wasn't paying attention, you know.
Driving a bus of children.
We all have those. No,
moments. I can't help but feel bad.
Where we almost kill a busload of children.
He was so nice, such a sweet man. I remember on the last.
I've never come close to killing a busload of children.
Not yet.
He 3 times. He had the possibility 3 times of killing a busload of children.
I remember. I just liked it because it meant I got to get to school late and I had an excuse and it was fucking awesome. But I remember on the last day of school, he like wanted to take pictures with some of the kids on the bus, and one of them was Pasta or Noodles or whatever her name was. He liked her, and they took pictures, and he cried on the last day of school every year. He would cry because he didn't get to see the kids anymore. Looking back now, it's a little weird, but he was a very
on his
nice
personal phone, or like the kids would want to take pictures.
I don't remember, just with a little camera or something.
Wait,
got off the
he had his own. He had his own personal camera That he would take.
I don't know if it
pictures
was
with
his
kids?
or if it was like Pasta's. I don't remember.
But you said he took more than a few pictures.
Yeah, he would take like a couple.
Did he have like a little disposable
He'd get off the
camera
bus.
of his
He'd get
own?
off the bus and he would pose with some of them and take a picture. I'm serious. I'm not making this shit up.
That's. Were you one of those kids, Matt?
No, I sat in the back of the bus.
Did you pose for any of his pictures?
Only a few at his house with no pants on. No, but
We've all been there.
He hated me and my friend. We like remember one time
Because you wouldn't take off your pants.
I just want a picture. My friend had like a Goofy hat on, like from Mickey Mouse, and he stuck his head out the window. We were on a bridge, and he pulled the bus over on the side of the bridge and like walked to the back of the bus and was like, "You're gonna get decapitated!" And got really mad and yelled at him.
Decapitated.
I had another bus driver named Miss Sheila, and she was like 4 feet tall, and she.
I had one
old.
named Miss Sheila.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
She was like stereotypical attitude bus driver woman.
I had one of those, but Miss Sheila was nice. She was this old lady, and the only clothes she would wear would be these like cheesy Christian like lines. One of them had 2 drumsticks, and it had the Kiss font from the Kiss logo, and it said "Stick with Jesus." And she had a couple other ones like that had to do with like Jesus puns. But I remember she'd drive the bus, and as soon as she smelled like perfume or something, she'd start hacking her lungs up and screaming like, "Shut it! Shut it!" Because apparently she was in a chemical fire, so now her lungs are fucked up, and if she smells perfume, she starts dying. And I just remember someone opened up a banana once, and she was like, "Oh, shut it! Shut the perfume!" And they're like, "It's a banana!" And she was like hacking her lungs up, and one morning someone sprayed some Axe cologne or some perfume. You can't even
You
call
can't be a
Axe
bus
cologne.
driver and have your lungs be that weak.
Well, that's the
Do you know how
Charleston
much
County bus
pollution a
system.
bus?
I don't know what it is, but she pulled over the bus and like on the side of the highway and just like threw up all over the ground and then got back on the bus and just drove us back to school. I still remember that vividly. It scared me. Because I was like, is my bus driver dying right now? She's like, because she smelled some perfume.
Did you ever see her again?
No, not since high school. I don't even know I don't know if she still drives the bus. She might.
I had a nice bus driver. Her name was Miss Daisy. So Miss Daisy was driving us.
Yeah, Miss Daisy was driving you.
Aha.
Nice.
And I think in terms of camping, the most uncomfortable experience I've ever had was when it was, I can't make up my mind what's more uncomfortable, camping in cold rain or camping in hot rain. Because hot rain, you get humid, and then your sleeping bag, the inside gets all like sticky and damp.
Oh, and then like the
your pillow gets
morning
damp.
after.
Right.
It's horrible.
It's just humid. Your tent is just muggy. But then cold rain is like, it's a terrible feeling being cold and wet. So I don't know. It's one or the other, because when it's hot, the inside of your tent becomes your bathroom right when you get out of a shower.
Yeah.
It's like that, and your pillow is like that too. So I don't know. I think just camping in the rain is no fun.
Yeah.
One time I forgot my tent and I had to sleep under.
Wait, hold on. You went camping, you forgot your tent?
Because I thought they were providing them. It was with Venture Crew. It was with Venture Crew, and I just assumed they were providing them. And they're like, no, you had to bring your own little personal one. Or there just wasn't enough room for me. It was something I didn't have a tent ready.
The whole camp has like one big tent. It's like, you gotta sit outside.
So I had to sleep with just my normal sleeping bag. This wasn't one that I could go fully into. I had to sleep in a normal sleeping bag under a picnic table while it was raining.
Under a picnic table while it's
Yeah.
raining?
Yeah, it was awful.
That sounds like some homeless.
Doesn't sound
level,
like it even worked. Doesn't
Did you get wet?
Yeah, I got wet. But I had to like bunch up in my sleeping bag, and then it stopped raining, and I woke up early in the morning, and I felt horrible, and then I got sick.
Yeah. See that?
Can
That
you?
sucks, man.
It was bad.
Awful.
And your dad doesn't have hair, so
Yeah.
he couldn't feel the pain.
Yeah.
My dad has
never
hair.
understand.
You're just like, I gotta defend this real quick.
I gotta pull out my shield. Yeah, but I just remember that stuck with me. That woman
Your
she
face.
hurt my head.
The guy who used to cut my hair always would like take the little buzzer thing and buzz my ears too close. Hurt my ears.
I need to get a haircut.
I do too. I gotta.
Because ever since I shaved my head bald again, I just let it grow out evenly, and like you can see, it's like
Okay. You
a
gotta
little
fix-
trim will fix that up.
someone described
cut.
it as, when it was a little shorter, as I looked like an anime character, because you know how they have that like kind of just haircut,
Kind of.
some of them, yeah.
Yeah,
I can't. What character has that haircut? I don't know.
I'm sure.
Just some American
viewers will
in
get
anime. Got
Oh
that?
yeah, that's the classic anime haircut.
You should just get a bowl cut.
God.
Go with a little.
Have you ever had a bowl
Dude,
cut,
the
Ryan?
thing is,
have you ever had one?
I'm not a complete bowl,
You would look great
but
with a
I've
bowl
had
cut.
like a coconut head.
Oh my god, I want to see that. Do you have pictures
It's
of
when
it?
I was in I'll try to find pictures.
Yearbook
it's,
picture, maybe?
It's when I was probably in middle school.
That's fantastic. Yes.
Speaking of middle school, you told me a story earlier that I wanted you to tell on the podcast. I thought it was really funny.
Remind me again.
It was your school.
Oh,
had the-
that was elementary school. That was
Okay.
at River Springs Elementary School. Shout out to River Springs Elementary School.
River Springs.
If you went to River Springs Elementary School in Irmo, South Carolina. Anyway, so I think the mascot's like Crocky the crocodile, and so every morning they'd have like volunteer students or whatever go and kind of like he's a puppet, and so they'd
a little
pretend
hand puppet?
to be him, and it'd be like, "Hey kids, today for lunch we're having milk, pudding, green beans, and meatloaf," and then like that would be what the kids would
Did
do.
the puppet have a name?
What?
Did the puppet have a name?
Crocky the crocodile.
Crocky the crocodile.
original.
I think that was it.
So
correct me if
creative.
I'm wrong, River Springs alumni. So this would play out throughout the elementary school. This was live. This was
Right.
live broadcasted to River Springs.
On those little CRT
Yeah,
TVs.
because all the kids, it would be their favorite part of the day almost. It would be like, oh, what are we having for lunch? And, oh, we don't have to learn anything. Let's just watch Crocky. And tell us what's for lunch. And one time it was my turn. I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And so in the middle of kind of starting it, I realized that they didn't have the right menu. And I didn't know what to say. And they're like, no, not that menu. And I was like, hey, kids, today we're having milk. And then I just stopped, and then I took it off and ran away. and then the adult had to finish it, and I went and cried because I was so embarrassed of my. Because like the thing is, to helm the Crocky puppet, to helm the puppet was
big
this
responsibility.
No, like when you're that age, like it's a huge responsibility. You're like, I'm Crocky.
That is big.
Every kid in the school is watching me.
Crippled by fear and self-doubt.
I wish I had that footage somewhere, like a VHS recording of the little green puppet freezing up and just, today we're having when you stuttered, did you move the mouth to go with the stutters?
I don't know. I think I just went limp.
So you had a stroke. Call an ambulance.
I felt so bad.
Yeah, so my school had
I didn't get a redo. That was the only time I
they
got
didn't
to
let
do
you
it.
do it again? They're like,
No,
No,
because
he
the
foiled
teacher
you had
did
your
it.
chance.
They were like, this is
Whatever.
the test run to see if little Ryan McGee can be the next Crocky, and he foiled it.
I failed.
But my high school had or middle school and high school had a thing similar to that, where they would broadcast a morning news program to the school. And I just remember there was this kid, I think he was a freshman, and he was doing it one day. And he said this not knowing what it meant, but he was like, all right, SOA, which that was my school, was SOA. He was like, all right, SOA, get out there, study hard, and bust a nut. And he had no idea what it meant. Like, he clearly didn't know what it meant. But I just remember watching that live.
I
to
love
the
your
whole
voice
school.
for the guy. Just, and bust a nut.
And I just remember everyone was like silent, like, what? What did he just say?
Bust a nut. What grade was this in?
I think I was in 10th grade and he was in 9th grade.
Wow.
I don't
Bust
know.
a nut.
Someone might have told him to say it.
I've been in that
Oh,
situation
definitely.
before.
Yeah, exactly. That's happened to me. Not on the loudspeaker, but I remember when I was in like 4th grade, some kid was like, hey, show your middle finger to the teacher. It's like, sure. I mean, like, whatever. I don't know why you think
Your
I should
parents
do
didn't
that.
teach you
That's-
that you shouldn't have done middle finger
No,
stuff?
Not when I was like, how old are you in 4th grade? Like 10 or something?
9,
Yeah.
10.
9?
I don't know.
Some young age.
Yeah. No, I didn't know.
I have a very similar story. In 4th grade, a kid told me to go up to my teacher and hold up my first 3 fingers like this and say, read between the lines.
Oh my god! Did you do it?
I can't remember. Part of me feels like I did.
No, I feel like the trauma would have definitely stayed if you did it. The
I don't think I
teacher
did.
would not have let that slide.
I do remember in 4th grade sitting in class and I had a dictionary and I found the word ejaculate. And I remember not knowing what it meant. And I remember it didn't give the definition because it was like referring me, like see ejaculation, something like that. Or it was referring to me to a different part of the dictionary. So it didn't have the definition. And I was like, what does this mean? And I knew I'd heard it before. And I knew it was like something kind of like not normal or not safe for a 4th grader. So I considered going up to my teacher and asking what this meant. Well, I didn't though. I just have that memory of sitting at my desk
contemplating if I should go ask the teacher what ejaculate means.
Did you guys had sex ed, right?
Yeah,
that was
but
in 5th grade.
South Carolina sex ed sucks. They don't teach you anything.
We weren't allowed to laugh during the video.
They don't teach you how sex happens.
People got sent into the hallway.
Yeah.
For laughing during the video.
And those kids grew up to never know what sex was.
They're fucking children. What do you expect? Like, you big adult bastards.
It's way better if they're laughing.
I know. They're still learning.
Totally fine. Yeah. It's just an uncomfortable subject.
Well, I remember South Carolina sex ed was really like behind the curve, and they don't actually teach you about sex or any of that stuff. They leave that up to the parents. So all they teach you is like periods,
pregnancy,
and pregnancy, but they don't teach you anything else. They just teach you that, and it was always really shitty cartoons.
They talked about masturbation in the video.
For you?
In my video, I think. I never saw the gonorrhea videos though. Apparently, I think I was because they showed these videos in this like auditorium in high school, I think, and I just wasn't there that day. And people were like, "Dude, you're lucky you didn't go to that," because it was on a big projector screen and shit.
Does it show like real gonorrhea?
And besides fake gonorrhea?
No. Was it like what I'm saying is, do they show like real pictures and videos of like dicks with gonorrhea?
Yeah, they show like pictures of like dicks and vaginas with warty goodness on them.
Ooh,
warty goodness.
Let me smell that good warty goodness.
Warty goodness. Hey, can I order an escort? Yeah, sure, honey. What you need? Got any with some good warty goodness?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, cream of the crop.
You know my favorite thing about going to
the crop.
going to movies with Ryan. Going on this one.
Okay.
I think I just have to go on either side of the trees. Yeah, dude, this is testing my fucking schemanship.
Is that what it's doing? Seems like you're just going on the flags.
I think it's just the flags, but there's more.
Oh,
there's more
trees and shit in the way.
Fuck, dude.
What's that thing?
I hit a tree.
Is that a person? Pizza?
That's a skier. Yeah.
That's a beginner.
Man, fuck. I don't want to follow the rules. The rules are made to be broken. One time I was skiing with my dad, and he was like, "Son, come on. I promise you can do this black diamond. I promise you. It's not that scary." And I really did not. I was
cliffs and shit with black diamond.
It's not for beginners.
Yeah,
that's like one of the hardest courses.
It's like legitimately dangerous for people to do.
In fact, it might have been a double black diamond. I don't remember. My dad was trying to like talk me up and get me all confident. So I was like, "Okay, Dad, I'll do it with you." So I get on the ski lift. We go to the very peak of the mountain, and I get off the ski lift, and there's no way down from there except down the black diamond slope. And I'm like, okay. And I look down the slope, and I'm like, fuck, man, I'm not ready for this. But my dad's like, come on, just take it slow. So I start taking it slow, you know, and it's so steep, and it's got turns left and right, and there's no barriers. The course just drops off about 3 feet on each side into just deep snow and trees. So I start going down it, and I don't have enough hip strength to turn and stop myself, so I go really fast, and I go off the edge, and I crash into a pine tree, and I'm like in all the snow, my skis come off, and I'm freaking out, and I'm like, I got to get down the rest of this. So I'm trying to get back on the ski course, and there's pro skiers flying by me, like and I'm like, holy shit.
You know, in their heads, they're like, God damn it, what is this guy doing?
Because I can get hit by, like, they could hit me and seriously hurt both of us.
So your dad convinced you to become a hazard for yourself and others.
Yes, 100%. And what happens is I get on and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get on my butt and I'm gonna like go pizza and I'm gonna go down the slope. So I basically like assed my way down the slope as there's pro skiers like whizzing by me at full speed.
Where was your dad this whole time?
Fuck, he already skied down the mountain, dude.
He was just waiting for you.
He's like, where's my son? Where's my stupid?
Like, what was going through your dad's head when he's like looking for you, and all of a sudden like he sees you coming down, sitting on your ass, pizza. Like, oh.
He said, there's my stupid effeminate son. Fuck, damn it.
What happened?
He's so fast.
Did he fucking eat you?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try this one more time, and
okay.
I want to go as fast as I can to get to the. I want to see if I can outrun him one more time. And then another time I was skiing, I actually went down a black diamond, and I was better at skiing this time, and I was doing all right until a snowboarder came out of nowhere, and I slammed right into him, and my skis came off, his snowboard came off his feet, and
did he yell at you?
I don't remember. I think he was pretty upset, and I'm like, dude, I'm sorry.
Was it your fault?
Probably.
Yeah.
Looking back, it probably was my fault because he was probably very skilled, and I was just this kid on a black diamond. I don't know. I love skiing. It's super fun, and I'd like to do it more. I just not a huge fan of black diamonds.
Just remember the first time I went skiing, there was just this guy going down one of the slopes. He was just, get out of the way! Get out of the way! I can't stop!
You just screaming that?
Yeah.
Man, that'd be so funny to witness.
Because it's just like one of those passing things where like he's gone out of my vision now. Well, that was weird.
Like that's just a minor occurrence that happened in your life.
Yeah.
Just help, get out of the way, I can't stop.
He was like trying, which is nice because he's trying to warn everybody that he's not a good skier.
He might have died.
He might have died.
He could have. Fuck. See, that was me with the snowboarder. Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm going fast. Oh no, shit! Fuck, there's two of them. God damn it! All right, I'm gonna try one more time.
He was my boy. He was my son.
I'm trying one more time, Ryan. Okay. That was a massive jump I just did.
Cedric the Entertainer. Cedric the Entertainer gets killed by Voldemort.
Imagine that scene, but he's crying over Cedric the Entertainer. Okay. Why is my distance going down?
He was my token. Oh no.
Oh man, it's such a small boss fight room. Look out for that TNT.
Dynamite.
That was the first song I ever learned how to play on the electric guitar.
I thought you only played drums.
No, I took guitar lessons for a considerable amount of time. My guitar teacher, have I ever told you about my guitar teacher?
No.
I just remember like one time.
Oh my god, dude, this dude.
He's taking you out, man. I was in a guitar lesson, and in the middle, like his cell phone rings, and he looks at it. He doesn't answer, but he like picks it up and he stares at the screen for like 10 seconds and doesn't pick it up while it rings, and he develops like tears in his eyes, and then he hangs up and he goes, "Sorry you had to see that." And then he just like gets back to playing guitar.
Oh my god!
And I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Poor guy.
I know. I feel like it had to be like his like ex-wife or something. But he ignored the call and just got tears in his eyes. And it happened multiple times. It happened another time too.
Multiple times?
Like the second, he didn't get tears in the eyes the second time, but like he looked at it and got that face and was like, and he just like let it ring. And I was like, Jesus, man. But I was too. I was like.
Funny if it said "stupid bitch" or something.
I was like too young to ask like, is everything okay? Because I was in like 8th grade.
It would have changed everything if it said "dead son."
Oh, you know what's the nastiest shit is when you leave like a bowl of Life cereal in the sink, or like
Yes.
Frosted Mini Wheats or Life, Cinnamon Life. That's like the nastiest like cereal you can leave to absorb the milk and water of the sink and get all nasty.
You actually made something recently that was really fucking good that I want to try. I want to try to keep perfecting it. You know what I mean?
I think I need to cook it longer.
It's cobbler.
I made a cherry cobbler.
So good.
Night. Our friend Tucker was over and we're like, you know what? Let's make cobbler. So I went to the store, got the ingredients, made a delicious cherry cobbler.
The only thing I would say, I don't know if it's because we didn't let it sit.
Gonna criticize my cooking?
The only thing I would say,
I cooked for you for free.
Matt,
I paid for the ingredients.
All I'm
you
saying
didn't have
is,
to do a single.
Well, we
thing,
need to keep in mind that you can always get better. You're not gonna get something 100% perfect the first time. It was delicious.
Yeah, okay, Ryan.
However, maybe the crust could have been a little more done, a little more crusty.
I know, and I know that it could have done that, but yeah, I should have left it in. Like, if I left it in 5 minutes longer, it could have gotten a little crispy. You know, when my mom makes cobblers, the crust is super. It's got a little crisp to the edges. It's tasty.
Oh, you see that brown?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Get that brown. And the middle piece of the cobbler was just too it was too like liquidy. It melted too much.
Yeah.
It still tasted good because the ingredients themselves are real good.
I used to make cobbler all the time in Venture Scouts.
Oh, more Venture Scouts, dude?
Yeah.
Not all these Venture Scout stores?
Used to
You put that secret ingredient in, right? You told me about it?
Sprite.
Yeah, that's weird. We put it in ours.
I don't know if it does anything. It was just a tradition. Like, to me, it's a tradition. I didn't know, like, when they were making the cobbler, I'm like, okay. And all of a sudden they put Sprite, and I used to be a big Sprite fanatic back in the day. I was like, whoa!
Ryan McGee was the biggest Sprite fanatic. He was part of the Sprite fan club. He had all the Sprite t-shirts, all the merch.
I was a fanatic in the negative sense.
You're like an obsessive fan? Like, he was obsessed with Sprite. That's all he drank.
I'd carry Sprite pinned to a crucifix, and I'd wear it around my necklace.
Like 50% of Ryan's blood was Sprite. Is Sprite thicker than blood? You know, there's that debate of if water's thicker than blood. You think Sprite's thicker than blood?
There was one time where I went canoeing with, like, some other kids in Venture, and you have to, like, put your name on the thing, like, so they know where you are, and I put my name on the thing. Then when we were coming back, there was just some guy standing on the dock like, "Hey! Where the fuck have you been?" I was like, what? And like, it was very awkward. He's like, "Get out of the fucking canoe!"
What?
I was super pissed because he didn't work with Venture Scouts. He was just a part of the people, and I guess he was super emotional because if a child goes
he thought he
missing on
lost
it,
a child.
yeah, if a child goes missing on his watch, I'm sure that looks poorly on his campground.
Well, yeah, because if a child dies and goes missing, he's done. So he was super emotional.
Yeah, so he's like, "Get over here!" I'm like, "What? Where's your name?" I'm like, "What? Did you write your name down on the fucking ticket?"
Holy shit.
I'm like, yeah, I did. And then I looked on the ticket, my name was gone. Apparently, some kid just came and scratched my name out.
Why?
And then put his name in instead.
Because he wanted to go canoeing.
I don't know what the fucking problem was.
Did you get in trouble?
I don't know. I was scared. I didn't get in trouble, but afterwards he was just kind of like, "Oh, just pay attention next time."
Don't tell your parents that I cursed at you. I remember there was this guy who used to work. When I did plays, he worked backstage. This big guy. You know, he looked like Fat Al from Fat Al's Toy Barn from Toy Story 2. That's
Yes.
like that guy. And his job was he had to jump off a ladder with a rope to pull like set pieces up. And one time he jumped off and almost landed on me. And I had to be in middle
Almost
school.
landed on
Yeah,
you?
he just like almost landed on me. He was like, "Ah, you fucker! What the fuck? Fuck you!" And he like freaked out.
What's with it with adults? I feel like adults, they
It's 'cause
curse
of a safety thing.
They
It's 'cause
curse
he
like
almost
that in
landed
front
on
of
me.
children because it's like they're not gonna say anything.
Yeah, but also it's like he did it because he was scared because he almost landed on me, which could have like he's a huge fucking
Adults
dude.
freak out when it comes to like fucking up kids. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but apparently this guy also like he got fired from that job apparently because he was he pushed some kid like down a little thing of steps.
Jesus.
That's what I heard. I don't know how true that is, but then he went and I had some more history with him. He yelled at me once for taking a Nerf gun out of his room. And that's a whole nother story. He yelled in my face and
What?
Yeah.
He yelled in your face?
Yeah,
and
well, he
did
yelled
like
at me-
spit in your face
I
and
moved
shit?
a Nerf gun out of his office backstage one time, and when he found me and he screamed it because he found.
Oh
it on-
my
He
god!
had, like, security cam
when
footage
you
of
when
it.
you say someone like he just screamed in my face, I picture like, "Matt, come here." Yes, sir. Ah!